Have you ever dreamed of starting your own thing, your own business? Well, if you have, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to lay out the entrepreneur's blueprint, step by step, to take that amazing idea in your head and turn it into a real plan of action. You know, it almost always starts with a moment just like this one, that feeling of frustration, that gut feeling that tells you you're meant for something more, something you can build with your own two hands. Yeah? If that hits home for you, then stick around. That little spark of frustration, that's the starting gun for so many incredible ventures. This isn't just about walking away from a job, it's about starting a mission. So, how do we actually do it? Well, here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the dream itself. Then we'll draft the blueprint. After that, we dive into the market, get a handle on the financials, figure out how to grow, and finally, make sure your big idea is actually ready for takeoff. Let's jump in. Okay, first up, the entrepreneur's dream. Look, before you write a single word of a plan, before you even think about strategy, you have to be absolutely clear on your why. This is your motivation, your passion. It's the fuel that's going to power this whole journey. And that's really the key here. This isn't just about escaping a 9-to-5 you don't love. It's a conscious, powerful choice to create something from nothing, something that is 100% yours. So, you've got the dream. How do you give it some structure? That brings us right to our second section, your business blueprint. The best way to think about this is like the architectural drawings for a house you're about to build. Now, I know what you're thinking. The term business plan can sound a little scary, but don't let it be. All it is really is a roadmap. It's just a place for you to write down what you want to achieve, how you plan to get there, and when you expect it all to happen. And that's the big question, right? What are the pieces of the puzzle? Well, the good news is it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. A solid business plan follows a pretty clear and logical structure. See, it really boils down to these 6 core parts. Think of them like chapters in a book, the story of your business. Each one builds on the last, and together they create a complete picture of your vision, from the high-level idea all the way down to the dollars and cents. Okay, you need to listen up for this part. The executive summary is critical. It's the very first thing anyone will read, and honestly, it might be the only thing they read. Your job is to make it so sharp, so compelling, in 2 pages or less that they just have to know more. All right, next up is a section that can be really challenging, but it's also where you'll get some of your best insights. It's all about understanding the world your business is about to step into. This is where the dream meets reality. Knowing your market means you've got to do your homework. You need to get a feel for things like the economic health of the area. Are people's incomes generally going up? You also have to know who your customers are, and just as important, who you'll be competing against. Let's make this super simple. Imagine you want to open a cupcake shop. Are you selling $5 artisanal cupcakes to people with high-paying jobs? Or are you selling $1 treats for families on a budget? Understanding these socioeconomic factors is what helps you answer that question. It tells you who your customers are and what they're willing to spend. Okay, let's talk about the money. This is the part of your blueprint that translates your big dream into a language that banks and, well, investors can understand. This is where you prove your idea can actually make a profit. So who are you even showing these numbers to? A lot of the time, it's potential investors. These are the folks who can give you the cash you need to get off the ground. You know, for equipment, rent, all that stuff. But it's not a handout. They're investing because they believe in you and they expect to see a profit on their money. And that brings us to the magic metric that every investor cares about, return on investment, or just ROI. It really all comes down to one simple question. If I give you $1 for your business, how many dollars are you going to give me back? Let's go back to our cupcake company. Say an investor gives you $1,000 for a new, better oven. A year goes by, you've sold a ton of cupcakes, and you can pay them back $1,500. That extra $500, that's their profit. That's their ROI. See? Simple as that. Okay, so your plan is solid. The numbers are looking good. Now, how do you actually make money? It's time to shift gears from just planning to actually doing. And that means we need to talk about sales. You'll hear this term all the time, drive sales. It's basically the engine of your business. It's not about just opening your doors and hoping people show up. It's about having a real strategy to actively get more and more people to buy what you're selling. And there are tons of ways to do this. I mean, you could go the direct route and just lower your prices to beat your competitors. Or you could get a little more creative and run a promotion, like a buy one, get one free deal. One strategy is all about price, the other is about creating excitement. Which brings us to the end, the final test. After all this hard work, after all the planning, is this thing gonna get off the ground? This last part is all about making sure your idea has what it takes to fly. Ever heard someone say that? It'll never fly? It's just a quick way to shoot an idea down, saying it's not realistic or not well thought out. Your business plan? That is your detailed, evidence-based argument for why your idea will fly. And this brings us to what might be the most important takeaway of all. Don't ever think that this blueprint is just some homework assignment you have to do for other people. It's for you. It's a tool that forces you to be honest with yourself, to get crystal clear on what you want, and to see the path to get there. So after all is said and done, after the planning, the research, the number crunching, it all boils down to this moment. The blueprint is right there, in your hands. So the only question left is, are you ready to start building?